December 7, 1941, a day of infamy. The Japanese Empire launches a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, pulling the United States into global war. With the Pacific Fleet crippled, the Navy turns to a new battlefield, beneath the waves. You are the captain of a U.S. Navy submarine. Your orders: patrol, strike, survive. War has come to the deep, and you're right in the middle of it. Chief Engineer Wendigo, destroyer overhead, take us to flank speed.
I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. We took a hit. She's taking on water near the engine room.
We're taking on water in the control room. Hull integrity's gone.
Rerouting power. Engaging pumps. I can't hold her much longer.
Welcome, Retro Warrior. I'm Mike, the Gaming Road Warrior, your guide and storyteller here in the gaming wasteland, and a former US Navy Seabee. On this channel, we talk about retro games from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Today we're diving into Silent Service for the NES, a World War II submarine simulator originally developed by Microprose for PC in 1985, then ported to the NES in 1989. It brought a serious strategic edge to Nintendo's lineup. I'll also take a look at the MS-DOS version that inspired it. Plus we'll make a pit stop for a strange little sub-game from 1991, The Hunt for Red October on NES. So fire up those torpedoes. It's time to dive into the gaming wasteland. I first played Silent Service thanks to my best friend Kevin. He let me borrow just about everything, and I always made sure to return the favor. Not many friends would loan out a brand new Super NES when it launched, but Kevin did. That kind of trust meant something. Funny thing, when I enlisted in 1996, one of the jobs they listed was Torpedo's men's mates. The rating was being phased out, but I still remember seeing it and thinking just like the game. I originally signed up to be a Navy corpsman after scoring high on the ASVAB, but that path didn't work out. Eventually, I found my place in the Seabees, the Navy's construction battalion. We weren't sailors on ships, we were boots on the ground, building bases and repairing runways for the Marines, Army, and Navy. Still, Silent Service always reminded me of the Navy I dreamed about as a kid. I served from 1996 to 2004. And even though we weren't at sea, I took pride in being part of the Navy. Growing up, I was fascinated by World War II submariners, silent hunters risking everything in the Pacific. At home, I only got 1 hour of NES time, even on weekends, but Aunt Betty saved the day. She let me keep my NES at her house, and after hauling wood, feeding the animals, and having dinner, I'd fire up Silent Service and disappear beneath the waves. Silent Service wasn't your typical NES game. It was a port of a 1985 submarine simulator made by Sid Meier, the same guy behind Civilization. Sid Meier created Silent Service because he was fascinated by military history and wanted to make a game that emphasized decision-making and realism over action. He believed the great game was a series of interesting decisions, and the tense, high-stakes world of submarine warfare was a perfect fit for his philosophy. Microprose, the company he co-founded, was known for realistic military sims, and this one brought history to the living room. Patrol zones, tactical navigation, and strategic attacks. It was based on real World War II submarine missions in the Pacific. You didn't just shoot torpedoes, you learned naval tactics. Silent Service was a thinking person's war game in a sea of button mashers. You play as a US sub-captain in World War II, taking down Japanese warships across different mission types. Training drills. Options include torpedo practice, deck gun exercises, or both. Great for learning targeting without pressure. Convoy action. You're dropped mid-battle into the enemy convoy encounter. These are intense, fast-paced scenarios. War patrol. The full simulation. You patrol a vast Pacific zone, hunting ships with little guidance. It's immersive, but can feel aimless without knowing the mechanics. Some convoy action scenarios are based on historic patrols, led by real World War II submarine commanders, like Commander Jesse L. Hull, who commanded the USS Bowfin on its first wartime patrol in 1943. That same sub now sits preserved at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. I even got a photo of me and my family on its deck. Being there brought everything full circle. Instead of sonar, the NES version relies on a tactical map to track enemy movement. You'll monitor fuel, speed, depth, and hull integrity using gauges. Dive too deep and you risk a hull breach, but the emergency blow command gives you one last shot to surface in time. Want to fake your death? You can release oil and debris to fool nearby destroyers into thinking you're toast. Here's a hidden gem. Using Controller 2, you can fine-tune your deck gun's range, an obscure trick few players knew about back then. This isn't about fast reflexes, it's about staying cool under pressure, sizing up your target, and making your move at the perfect moment. Before it surfaced on the NES, Silent Service first deployed on the PC in 1985. Built for DOS, Commodore 64, and Apple II systems. This version leaned even harder into realism. There was no controller. You used only the keyboard. No music, no flashy graphics, just gauges, maps, and strategy. You picked your patrol area, tracked enemy ships by bearing and distance, and fired torpedoes using timing and math, not reflexes. The manual encouraged players to read real naval tactics. It even included training exercise to improve your skills. It expected players to think like a real sub-commander. Back then, I'd spot Silent Service in old catalogs and PC Gamer ads. It always looked like a game meant for serious players. The sound design? Practically non-existent, just a few beeps from the PC speaker. Compared to the NES's rumbling engine noise and torpedo effects, the DOS version felt eerily silent, but that quiet added to its tension. It didn't distract you, it immersed you. Coming back to the DOS version today, I actually respect it more. It's quiet, intense, and forces you to slow down and think. It's a kind of game that doesn't grab you with spectacle, but it sticks with you afterward.
90s Game Break.
Now for a quick 90s game break. In 1991, the hunt for Red October surfaced on the NES, bringing Cold War tensions to 8-bit waters. The game was loosely inspired by the novel and film, but don't expect much realism. You command the Soviet sub Red October trying to defect to the United States while being hunted by your own navy. There's a variety of mission objectives, navigating tight underwater trenches, destroying enemy vessels, and using features like silent running, countermeasures, and homing torpedoes. You even get a small upgrade system that rewards successful missions. But the game throws some curveballs, like a bizarre platforming segment where you play as Jack Ryan, sneaking through a Soviet sub with a pistol. That's straight from the manual. I didn't get that far. I died pretty early on. Between the cramped navigation and the overwhelming enemy fire, it just didn't hold my attention. The controls felt stiff and the pacing was rough. Still, it's a fascinating look at how NES developers tried to turn complex political thrillers into action-heavy games. And if you're curious about Cold War-era submarine fiction, it might be worth checking out. Just keep expectations in check. Chief Engineer Wendigo, status report.
Repairs are done, Captain. Engine steady. Batteries holding at 80%. And next time we dive, I want hazard pay. And that new Pac-Man Atari 2600 Plus console. We didn't lose air or power. Somehow. The coffee locker's flooded. Bags are soaked. We have a caffeine casualty, sir.
Say that again, Chief?
The coffee's gone.
You sunk my brew, now I'm sinking you. A lot of folks complained about the engine hum, but I loved it. I'd blast Def Leppard on my tape deck and the hum just became part of the music. That NES cursor made it feel like a PC game. And the deck guns. Ka-chunk, so satisfying. I used to play cautiously back in the day. Now I go in guns blazing. Knock out the destroyer first, then clean house. Even the captain wore dungarees, same as I did in the Navy. Back in Builder A school, I was a fire team leader. My best friend Shelly was the squad leader. We were both E3s at the time, but we earned that responsibility. And in that photo, you'll see me next to one of my best friends I've ever had, Tim Hill. You know, thinking about silent service brings back some great memories. Not just for gaming, but of one of my closest friends from the Navy. Let me tell you about Tim. One summer, Tim took me and our friend Shelly to the beach. I drove my convertible Mustang thinking we'd light a few Roman candles for fun. But Tim had other plans. Before I knew it, we were in a full-blown Roman candle war. He accidentally hit my car. I shouted, "Watch where you're aiming," and fired back. Stupid, yeah, but it was one of the funnest nights of my life. But it wasn't all chaos and laughter. Tim and I earned our CB Combat Warfare pins together in Operation Task Force Falcon in Kosovo. Losing Tim hit hard. I never got to say goodbye to him. I've been meaning to visit him in Philadelphia also. He was more than a friend. He was my brother. This video's for you, Petty Officer 2nd Class, SCW Hill. You're not forgotten. Playing Silent Service again brings it all back. The Navy, the friendships, the pride. And I'm grateful I get to share those memories with you. Big shout out to my Retro Warrior Knights, Mr. Posto, Arcade Chaos, and Retro Man Randy Savage. Thank you for being part of the Gaming Road Warrior family. Take care and remember, gaming is your road to adventure.
You break it, I